Welcome! This is a quick introduction to Chapter 1 of Introduction to Autodesk Revit. It's going to be 2024. I am going to read some of the highlights of this chapter, things that you should look for. This book throws a lot of information out there, but when you're first starting out, you don't need all of it, so I'm going to try and proofread that with you. Revit is a powerful building modeler that's changed the outlook of the building industry because, like I had said in class, it's more like working with Lego, and each of its components are jam-packed with information that you can alter or you can use as is. Revit has become one of the leading building information modelers, a BIM machine. It helps you to envision things, and the powerful concept that we have is we can create a two-dimensional line drawing of a floor, and then at the same time we are creating a three-dimensional view that we can access. Parametric modeling technology, which means that doors which have parametric relationship and walls cannot be created without first creating a host wall. So the wall is the key to everything starting out. If you can create a wall, you can attach anything to that wall. Walls and floors. A building information model is created using different independent parametric building elements such as walls, floors, roof, ceiling, stairs, ramps, curtain walls, and so on. They do talk about a couple of terms that are used. And then we break down into things such as the subdivisions of elements into categories. There's a model category, which are the building elements. Annotation category consists of annotations, writing, text notes, tags, and symbols. There are the datums, which give you a measurement for your building either on the ground or in elevation. These are in the form of levels, grids, reference planes. And a view category consists of interactive project views, such as floor plans, ceiling plans, and elevations, things that we can access almost immediately. We're going to be working with a thing called families. Families are components. Family in Revit is described as a set of elements of the same category that can be grouped together based on certain common parameters. So all windows are a family, all doors could be a family, and doors might even include the garage door. Instances are the actual usage of the model elements in the building model or annotations on the drawing sheet. So when you get to a very specific thing you're using. Here's model categories, lists all of those. Annotation is listed. Datums and view categories. What I just told you here is in this chart. Here's a nice section with building elements and levels. Here are levels. So when you add this symbol, you're actually saying everything rises up to this level, and that's the height. Visibility graphics controls what you want to show. You can hide things and you can isolate things. In advanced modeling, that's helpful, so you don't have too much information on the board. We can create the architectural drawing set, and in EGDT 1100, you make the construction drawing set. But we're just going to be working on drawings for most of this chapter. Most of this semester. You have flexibility. You can create layouts, work on large projects, you can collaborate. But how do we start up Revit? And here's one of when you go to the bottom right hand Windows button, you get this. And I happen to have this Revit model, which I have squished into the box for capturing this video, but normally it's a lot longer and you see more things. But the first panel you open up, you can see that you can open a model, right? And then if you push that, here's ones you can start. You can create a brand new one, and if you push new, it'll tell you what kind of discipline, and imperial units are what we use in the United States, so we'll choose that. Other options might be metric, or you can browse and look for more. If you browse and look for more, usually you get the full set, the full Monty of things that you can do. You can do a commercial construction, a default multidiscipline, mechanical plumbing. Here's one that we use a lot. Residential is one, and we will also use the multidiscipline at times, but if you stick to the residential, you'll be guaranteed to get the correct units. So let's go back. We're going to go back. Likewise, we can do help, opens a Revit family file, and we can go look up the families that we will have loaded. We can do new. On the right hand of the screen, it shows you projects that have been started. Here's a roof assignment. So I have a lot, because when I open up your drawings to take a look, that I usually get, I get this shows up as something that's accessible. But here's a board and batten wall that I had, so if I double click on that, or if I click it entirely new, let's do a new. Imperial, and this is covered in my other video when you start out your first project. Now it's going to open up, and now we can start talking about the parts. Along here, this is our banner page, but we're going to occupy ourselves in this corner. Okay, there's a lot of information shown, but we really just need this, and we really just need this wall. And if we click wall, architecture, draw in a clockwise fashion, you can kind of play around. You see when you pull it, you get dimensions. If you zoom in with that roller button on your mouse, you can really get a good picture. Make a parameter, and it likes to help you draft. See the little dash line? Kind of help you to push that in. And I have made my first drawing for this semester. Here is the little house button. Push the house, and you get the 3D walls. So that might be something you can try. The book tries to go through that with you as well, shows you what options you have. The interface screen, you can choose what's new, right? So that's helpful. This is really important. You can choose help option from the info center to get help on various tools when you choose this option. Let's go to my Revit. So we're talking about up here. I'm going to have to expand this, so 1 second. The help tool is on this corner. So okay, I had to stretch out my Revit model, unshrink it. But here's where I signed in with all my accounts. And here's the App Store. And then my help button. Okay, so if I press help, you're going to need this quite often, so please pay attention for this one. It gives me, say I want to learn something about walls. I can type in the walls, and it goes into place a curtain walls. Let's say I want to join walls. So if you have a question, you're reading the book and it's not making sense, you can use the help button on your Revit tool to quickly get to a place how to join walls. Sometimes this is written in a little bit more complex way, right? How to join, right? Because the answer will come up down. So it's just like when you're looking for your problems when you go on internet search, kind of the same thing. You might have to dig down on it, but someone has already posted. Back to the book. User interface is what we're learning this week. It has, Autodesk Revit has a ribbon interface which contains important things such as, up here is the QUAT, they call it, quality, And here are basic Microsoft functions. A little bit too little to see. And then this is broken down to the ribbon running along here. There's also a ribbon running along the back. This particular one has the project browser on one side and the materials tool on the other. So read through this because it does have good things to mention. Like there's a lot of arrows showing different things you can look at. So you need to read about the ribbon, panels, how to cut walls, because you can't just cut them like you do in AutoCAD. And then there's the different components that we'll use. Once we master the wall, we're going to be looking at floor, curtain wall, curtain grid. Railings, ramps, and stairs are very important to us. And we're going to look at this modeling line tool, this little box that does amazing things. And that'll be a separate video. The following table describes the various tables and their functions. We really only care about the architecture tab and view, so let's go show up where that is. Okay, so we really hang out right here for this semester. Yes, there's a few things we do, but those are exceptions. The file menu, how we choose. When we click the R, we get a choice new or open and existing. The quick access toolbar, as I was trying to say, QUAT, quick access toolbar, has Microsoft things on it, and here's how it breaks down. I'll make a video where we go into these a little bit more. And then you can search in this help bar. You can go to the help bar question mark. You can sign in. It's always good to sign in when you first start because then you're connected to the mothership and you can upload your videos there. Status bar and view control bar. This is at the bottom. The bottom has scale, visual styles. Some important ones for us are really the first three. These are advanced users. Type selector, if you want to make letters, that can wait a couple of weeks. Project browser, this is one you need to get very familiar with because it'll have all your drawings. If you create a floor plan level 1, you theoretically probably created an elevation at the same time. And these little plus arrows, these can be minimized or they can be expanded. Hit the plus arrow and you'll see what else you got in there. We won't worry about keyboard accelerators yet. That's a future thing. The other most important thing is the properties palette, because here you will summon what it is you want to do, and then you can have all the little details about that part. So read that, dialog boxes. You don't have to read multiple document environment, and we're not there yet. Same with interoperability. If you want to know more about BIM, that's a good read. Work area you don't have to worry about. We're doing a primitive form of it in class. Computer stuff, you don't have to know that. Construction Cloud is a cloud-based construction management. We might get into that. We also might get into Bluebeam. Okay, and that ends in the last page with these questions. Please try and answer these questions and you'll find the correct answer at the bottom. Thank you for tuning in.